Dear friends, we know that the life of Jesus was fully immersed in God experience. It was this God experience that was responsible for his powerful preaching, awe-inspiring miracles, and a life of fullness and freedom. Even though the whole life of Jesus was marked by God experience, the synoptic writers give us three accounts of God experience. The first one is the moment of baptism. The second one is what happened on Mount Tabor, namely Transfiguration. The last one is what happened in Calvary. The first one happened at the initial phase of the ministry of Jesus. The second one more or less during the middle of his ministry. And the last one towards the end of his earthly ministry. God experience is basically experiencing the ever-abiding presence of God with oneself. That is why in all the above three events, we see the deliberate presence of God the Father, though manifest in different ways. In baptism and transfiguration, the presence of God the Father is very clear. He is the one who says, "He is my Son, the Beloved." But on Calvary, Jesus experienced the same Father in emptiness and barrenness. It can be said that on Mount Tabor and River Jordan, Jesus met God in his glory and power, whereas on Calvary, he met God in his vulnerability and emptiness. On Calvary, Jesus, on the very apparent absence, felt the presence of the Father. Dear friends, every event of God experience contains following three dimensions. Firstly, it gives the person who undergoes God experience an enormous amount of consolation, confidence, and courage. Secondly, it gives one a certain amount of clarity about one's purpose of life here on earth. And thirdly, it gives enough strength to march towards that purpose. When we look at the event of Transfiguration, we are aware that all these above three dimensions are present. The synoptic writers reveal to us very clearly that the first part of the ministry of Jesus was really a successful one when measured by the standard of the world. He was highly appreciated and immensely wondered at by people. His attractive sermons and inspiring miracles surely brought so many people to him. People were hanging on his lips and thronged around him wherever he went. However, the question that might have been lingering in the mind of Jesus was whether people had really understood who he was, whether they had grasped his real identity as the Messiah. That was the precise reason why he raised the question to his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" He got a clear understanding that people's understanding of him was not clear at all. He wanted to know whether at least his disciples had uncovered his real identity. Once again, it was a failure. Even though it seems that Peter gave the right answer, it is to be kept in mind that Peter, as an answer, revealed his expectation rather than his experience. It is against this background Jesus might have been confused and might have even questioned his approach towards his ministry. It is in this backdrop that we need to see the event of Transfiguration. There is no doubt that this event of God experience gave him consolation, confidence, and courage. The words of God the Father, "He is my Son, the Beloved," certainly explains his close affinity with the Father or with the Son. And it also points out how, on the one hand, the Father was a source of joy for Jesus, and on the other, Jesus the Son was also the source of joy for the Father. Secondly, Jesus also got clarity about his ministry and the purpose of life. This is a precise reason why, after the event of Transfiguration, we see a marked change in his approach towards his own ministry. He begins to talk more about surrender, suffering, and death on the cross. Thirdly, there is no doubt that this Transfiguration event also gave him courage to proceed in this new direction towards death on Calvary. Dear friends, the event of Transfiguration puts forth among many the following two questions in front of us. The first question is, are we serious about the purpose of our life? And are we aware that this purpose can be realized only in the context of our intimate relationship with God? The second question is, are we serious about God experience in our life? It is to be kept in mind that a certain amount of God experience is a must in order to withstand and proceed against all sorts of odds of our life. Let us pray. Loving Father, may we become aware of your presence, which is so close and intimate to us